So Tru Life is a rapper that took a while to break out. He finally gained some traction in the 2000s when he announced he was being signed to Jay-Z's Rockefeller. Unfortunately, things did not pan out the way he had hoped, and his career stalled before he could take off, landing him an 8-year bid in prison and effectively destroying any progress he had already made. But why did he go to jail? What happened before Rockefeller? What was the beef between Dipset and Mobb Deep? And did he ever squash it? Most importantly, where is he now? Let's find out. What up guys, Ali here and welcome to Ali Talks Music. Add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music as well. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into the video. Tru Life was born around 1976 in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, New York. At some point around the late 80s and early 90s, Tru Life was a teenager and he spent quite a bit of time down south with the Dungeon family. Additionally, Tru Life admitted that he also grew up with Future. I go back with him from Meathead. I don't even know Future. We grew up together, man, in the Dungeon family. Me and his cousin Rico Wade was real tight. Now Tru Life's early career was a bit of a roller coaster. He was darting from one label to another, including high-profile ones like Interscope and Steven Spielberg's DreamWorks. However, before he could drop his first album with DreamWorks, Tru Life got tangled in a serious beef with Mobb Deep, which kicked off around 1999. The beef was actually born from a collaboration gone wrong. As the story goes, Tru Life and Prodigy from Mobb Deep were working on a song together called When You're a Thug, which also featured Joel and Cool G Rap. This track was supposed to be Tru Life's big break, but it fell apart when Prodigy reused his verse for a different song despite being paid $15,000 for the verse. The thing is, at first Tru Life was okay with it and simply wanted another verse from Prodigy. However, the problem grew when Prodigy kept ignoring him, turning a simple collaboration sour. I was ready to shoot a low-budget video to it, put out some vinyl, like a little single to start my little career. I made the phone call. I made more than one phone call. I was calling these cats for over a month, 2 months. I was calling everybody, calling their manager. I got my manager calling. And you know, they were showing me no respect. Tru Life was seriously taken back by what Prodigy did and referred to it as double dipping. And this lit the fuse for a serious feud. The tension then escalated, even affecting their shared connections, like their mutual friend Saigon. Tru even took matters into his own hands when he claims that he ambushed Mobb Deep in a studio and pressed them with in tow. He ended up beating up one of Prodigy's entourage, although neither Havoc or Prodigy were present when all of this was going down. After that, Tru and his company robbed everyone, stripped them down, and then dipped. Now Saigon also got involved simply because he and Tru Life were cool, and then the whole thing snowballed. While Saigon had his own separate beef with Prodigy, it was instigated when Prodigy snubbed Tru Life, and would escalate over time until finally coming to a head when Saigon got into an altercation with Mobb Deep at a club in New York around 2007. The beef did not end for another decade, but neither did things escalate much further.
That's one of the great things that, you know, that felt the best, to be honest, was meeting with Prodigy, man. Like before he died, I said, yeah, I ain't got no problem with it. And Prodigy actually came with his son. And it was really genuine, man. We just had like, it really showed me that he was a real man.
On the musical front, things were starting to heat up for Tru Life, probably because the beef was bringing him some new attention. He had a few local singles that were taking off in the streets, and he was finally starting to get his footing. While his planned debut single, When You're a Thug, was never formally released, he did put some projects out, including his debut album, 2001's Crying Out Loud.
Now, I'm crying for the world, though. I hope y'all understand this.
Now, Tru Life's big break came out around 2005, and it happened because of Snoop Dogg, who discovered him at the time. At the time, Tru Life was weighing several deal options. He was also working on a mixtape with DJ Lantern and told DJ Lantern that he wanted to work on a New York label. After this, DJ Lantern set up a meeting between Tru Life and Hove. And that's when he finally got his big signing around 2005, when he signed a deal with Def Jam and the short-lived Latin branch of Rockefeller, Rock La Familia. Now Jay made sure that Tru Life earned his spot on the label. In a room full of A&R executives, Tru Life took the floor for 10 minutes, showcasing his wit, confidence, and a touch of humor. Now after his 10-minute rant, Tru Life clearly made an impact on Hove because the aspiring rapper left the building early in the morning with a contract for a 6-figure deal. When I got there, they told me that if Jay liked me, I wasn't going to leave the building. I thought it was a joke. I got there at 3 in the afternoon and left 10 hours later. For a while, things went positively for Tru Life, especially after he joined Def Jam. He dropped several mixtapes and singles. In fact, around 2005, he dropped a mixtape called New York, The Movement. But then he got involved in another beef. And just like before, it consumed a lot of his attention. The beef was with Dipset, and people assumed that this beef was simply an extension of Hove's beef with Camron, but that's not the case at all. Tru Life's beef was actually more with Jim Jones.
You know what I'm saying? Cause I was your bodyguard then, nigga. I was holding you down when motherfuckers in New York wanted to kill you. You came to my cousin JoJo, nigga. He introduced me to you, nigga, cause you was gonna pay niggas to hold you down. That's how I know you, nigga.
In fact, there's another rumor that claims that Jay only signed Tru Life because Tru Life did not like Jim Jones. As the story goes, the press and the public began to speculate that Tru Life dissed Jim Jones on the track New York.
You wasn't banging before 93. And listen here, homie, you not a G.
After that, Jones made phone calls to several rappers, saying that Tru Life was dissing him on a DVD and he wanted money for it. In fact, one of the biggest reasons why Tru Life decided to take on Jim Jones is because he thought Jim Jones was portraying a gangster and was not one in real life. He went on to call the Dipset and pink banging bunnies. Things continued to escalate, more specifically between Tru Life and Jim Jones, especially when Tru Life began calling Jim Jones Jenny Jones and then dropped a freestyle specifically going after him. Then the Dipset retaliated by challenging Tru Life to a fight for $50,000, while Camron and Joel Santana were offering $20,000 each on the outcome. The fight did not occur, but Tru Life still retaliated by dropping another mixtape, Tru York with J Love. The tape was made up of around 20 tracks, and several songs on the projects were directly aimed at Jim Jones.
The dips is over, the dips is over, bye-bye, the dips is over, the dips is over, aye.
And let's not forget about how disrespectful the cover art was. It was directly aimed at Dipset. In response, the Dipset responded by hacking into Tru Life's MySpace page and uploading a new cover titled Jim York, which featured Tru Life and Hove in their offending outfits. They also sent out fake messages apologizing for disrespecting Dipset and explaining that he was just broke, dust smoking, and bored from driving his '96 Windstar Caravan. Now, of course, Tru Life was a real G, and he retaliated in a way that left them all confused. He snatched Jim Jones's chains. Tru Life somehow got his hands on 2 of Jim Jones's chains. He then held them for ransom, flaunting the chains on regional radio.
Please stop sending me all the threats on the MySpace. You can't hurt me through MySpace, you hear me? Please stop that. Can we cut that out? Can we cut out the phones and all that talking crazy on the phone? You're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. You want it back, we can make this easy, man. If you really want it back, baby boy, send over them 10 stacks, man. I'll give it back to you, man. I had it on eBay, but I took it off, man. I put it on eBay for a second. I'm gonna put it back up there, you know what I'm saying? I just took it off for a second, man. We gonna get it back up there, though. I'm gonna let the fans, you know.
Hold them up, hold them up.
Shit, man. We don't want shit like this, man. This 10 carat bullshit going on over here. You smell me?
Unfortunately, this was not the last of it. While Tru Life definitely got the last word, he was also a street kid at heart. And around April of 2007, he stepped to the Diplomats again. This time things escalated to a point where punches were thrown. Camron was hanging outside of a club when Tru Life confronted him about the back and forth. Tru Life then sucker punched Camron, The cops got involved and then split them up. Again, the beef was not formally squashed for almost a decade, but this is where things simmered down just a little bit, and just like with Mobb Deep, Tru Life got the last laugh. It seemed like while Tru Life definitely had the charisma of a rapper, he wasn't really dropping much hit songs. After being signed to Rock La Familia for 2 years, he had nothing to show for it except maybe 2 singles, maybe 3 singles, a couple of mixtapes, and then around 2007, Jay announced that he was departing Def Jam. Then to the public, it looked like Tru Life went on a hiatus, however he was sorting out his paperwork behind the scenes. And then, around 2009, Tru Life dropped about 3 singles called Watch Me Fall with Snoop Dogg, I Need Love with Carrie Hilson, and Wet 'Em Up, the latter of which became a song in GTA, and also earned him a lot of attention.
Hey yo, it's back on Smash Home, we getting a smash on. First nigga move wrong, he gon' get mashed on.
When Jay-Z was leaving Def Jam, I felt like I wanted to leave Def Jam too, so I ended up leaving Def Jam. Right when I left, we were going to sign a new situation because Jay was just signing with Roc Nation. So me, Jeezy and Jay was going to do my new situation, whether it was going to be Roc Nation or whatever it was gonna be. And then the craziness happened and I ended up getting put away all those years. Now this is where things changed for Tru Life. Around June of 2009, when Tru Life was halfway done with his second album, he and his older brother got into a huge brawl at a nightclub that ultimately sprawled into an apartment building lobby. The fight escalated and the brothers chased their targets into the lobby, resulting in the death of a 21-year-old when Tru Life's older brother fatally injured the man. After this, Tru's life changed completely. The court proceedings were long and drawn out, and it wasn't until around 2011 that the brothers received their sentencing. Tru pleaded guilty to gang assault and received an 8-year sentence, while Tru's brother pleaded guilty to manslaughter and weapons possession and received a decade. Now when Tru Life was sentenced, he had already been behind bars for about 2 years, and with good behavior, he was looking at the possibility of parole in another 4.5 years. Now by April of 2016, after serving 7 years of an 8-year sentence, Tru Life was finally released. He came out a changed man, and one of the first things he did when he came out was try to mend fences with Dipset and Mobb Deep. He and Prodigy made up and were even seen taking pictures together. Tru Life's beef with Jim Jones also came to an end, signaling the end of an era and an end to placing focus on negativity. Now after leaving jail, Tru Life did not rush back into music. He had lost everything. No cars, no house, no money. He was also in debt to the IRS. And more than that, he missed years of his sons' lives, who were now 14 and 9. During his ride home from prison, Tru Life reconnected with an old friend, Future, who had since become a big name in the industry and was eager to sign Tru Life to his label. So, when Tru Life did return to music, he signed a deal with Free Bands and Epic, and even launched his own label, Mogul Tree. He then dropped a comeback single called Bag For It, featuring Rick Ross. And let's just say this song gave Tru Life a bit of momentum. He then dropped more tracks in 2017, and in 2018 he dropped his sophomore album, Walk on Water. Now in an interview in 2019, Tru Life confirmed that he was Free Bands forever. He also said that he was no longer under Epic and had his own deal with Mogul Tree on Empire. As of late, Tru Life is not dropping much music, but he's still very active on social media. On Spotify, he has about 19,000 monthly listeners, and his most listened to songs are Last Night, Ya Ya, Baddie, Bag For It, and Naked. That's it for me, it's your boy Ali. What happened to Tru Life in your opinion? Let me know down below. New What Happened 2 video dropping soon. Also add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music. Till next time, peace.